one-story house. That's every wall is painted
He
yellow.
said, "You are correct."
What color
You
are
are
the
correct.
stairs? You are correct.
You're
It was the pause. His timing was perfect. It was like the perfect joke where it wasn't a joke at all.
So did you watch the newest Survivor?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Right?
I literally got up and left the room.
Really?
Was that
With
not
Cedric?
the dumbest,
It pissed me off.
dumbest.
So I'm in the Survivor Fantasy League,
yeah.
and I put all of my votes on her. All 10 votes.
Oh,
I
my
put on
God.
her because I knew she was gone.
Yeah.
Like I was like, she's got to be gone. And
They're so dumb.
I've read some stuff in it that they've released that was a 2-hour tribal.
Really?
And that's why he was like, all right, I've never done this before, but it's time. They didn't air any of Justin like pleading his case. Because I'm like, he just sat there.
Yeah.
Like, that's your
yeah.
boy.
That's what he was saying. He's
But
like, he
I
didn't
will
even
say that
defend himself.
Cedric, he's done.
He's stupid.
He ruined his game. He's the worst player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
Because
she's
you
not
could go
far
back
behind
with
him.
Mary and Justin and everything would be right as rain. And you could form an alliance and be done with it.
And trust the people that you're with.
Right, and now she is there. So the preview for next week shows that they are merging. Right, so she's going to go and tell everyone what a turd he is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So my question though is,
I was so mad.
Right?
so if Say was going to vote for not
Mary.
initially Mary, but then Mary got safe. So then they had to. She
Which
had
was
to.
amazing.
Yeah, that was great.
I loved it.
It's the second time it's ever worked. Second time.
That's what Chelsea. And that's the funny thing too is when Chelsea was. She's like, I've never seen
She
it happen.
did it smart
I've
because there were
never
only
seen it
4
happen."
of them.
Yeah.
So she did it like at the perfect time. It always It works better when there's just a few of them because there are only 4 scrolls to choose from.
Really?
Instead of 9.
I thought it was 1 in 6.
I thought
No.
I thought
It's how
everybody got one.
they do get one in, but it's the number of players in the bag
Really?
that are in the bag for scrolls.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So if Say was going to vote for Justin, and she couldn't vote for Cedric, so she had to vote for Justin. Justin didn't have a vote. So the reason that they kept going on to ties was because he was voting for Say. So if he would have
He
voted,
voted Mary, Say, Justin.
Justin.
He's the first person in Survivor history to have voted for everyone on his tribe during one tribal
Right.
council.
but if
I hate his guts.
if he would have voted for the third time for Say, would they have drawn rocks? That was my question.
if he voted-
Yes, they would have, but he would have been the only one to draw. He would
Really?
have gone home.
Because
the
why
pe-
couldn't he vote for Say
He could have.
and then send her home?
He
That's a
could've.
vote for her.
He could. That's what he could have done. He decided Justin was leaving. He was the deciding factor, and he chose Justin over Say.
So dumb.
And he turned to him and said, "You're going to knock this off." Seriously.
Right.
You know
But
what
if
you
he-
just did? Formed an alliance with the 2 ladies against you, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, why would Say trust him? You wrote my name down twice.
She
Yeah.
won't. It's the dumbest thing I've ever.
It is.
I would love the unedited 2-hour conversation.
I would too.
I would love to sit at tribal
Because-
counselor and tell her your game isn't any good either. I don't know what.
Oh, I hate her guts.
Your game
I do
sucks.
too.
Yeah.
And if you're that worried about somebody getting an idol that you won't even let them have a 5-minute break,
Right.
your game is trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I was pissed because I was a Cedric defender last week, like
Yeah.
full on. I was like, dude,
that
he
was the best game. That's the best move
He
anyone
he
could
took
ever
out an
make.
idol and he took out a strategic player, and I'm like, damn, that was solid. And then completely trashed the game right after that.
Jalissa was
I'm
laughing at me. I really was like, I got up and walked out of the house.
I'm
I was like, that's
pissed.
the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm getting to the
Also,
point where
real quick, Justin blew it when they were on the beach alone. He could have easily said, "I lost my vote."
Yeah.
What was it going to cost? It wasn't going to hurt anything.
No.
Because Cedric was not voting for Justin.
Right.
Right.
It wouldn't have hurt anything.
no.
And if
And
you
that
would
would've-
have, Cedric probably would have come to the right conclusion
Right.
that this is when we have to get rid of Say.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
He should have come to the right conclusion, anyways. But we
That
also
whole- that whole
we
tribe is
also
stupid.
don't know like the daily dynamics between them. Would they just we just see what
that
they
whole tribe is stupid.
yeah they're terrible. The purple tribe's like
They got it.
they're beasts.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Joe. I think that
I love
guy's-
Mitch. I
Yeah.
think Mitch is great.
Which one's Mitch?
The one with the stutter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mitch.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's okay.
I think he's
What about you,
smart.
Colton?
Yeah, he's smart. He doesn't watch
I have
Survivor.
no idea
I
what
know.
you guys are talking about. I'm just waiting.
I will
for-
say for the first time in years, this is the first time I've watched it week to week. I usually
Yeah.
wait for it to,
Binge.
like a big chunk of them, and I'll watch them. And because I'm on this,
This is the
stupid
first
fantasy
Survivor
league.
I've watched in probably 10 years.
There's some really good seasons.
There was.
but this season I like the characters.
I do too.
Sometimes
I'm
you're
invested.
like,
Yeah.
Like, this is terrible.
Like one
I
world.
want to see what's
Yeah.
going on with the other tribes because I feel like all we've seen is the green tribe.
Well, because I think all the other tribes are working together and they're fine.
Yeah.
And the Green Tribe is the entertainment.
They're terrible.
Well, welcome to the Movies with Chill podcast. I am your host, Chill. Today we'll be doing our Attack on Anime, Attack on Titan. Today, as always, I am joined by David, Lee, and Colton. How you boys doing tonight?
Oi, oi.
Boy. Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's a show.
it is a show.
It is
We're
a
getting
show.
there, aren't we?
Yeah,
We are. Yeah.
We're getting through it.
We got a...
It's starting to get a little deeper. I like that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I have a little more grasp
I feel
on...
like I could have skipped these 2 episodes.
I feel like I could have skipped the first episode, but I like the second episode.
okay.
I thought the second episode
The
was
second
a little better.
the second one was better, but still not worth my time.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's hilarious because I think you're going to look back on it. If you ever rewatch it and you look back on it, you'll be like, wow, they spoiled a lot in this. And I didn't
You
notice.
said that for the entire series.
I know.
At this point.
I know. So episode 34, titled Opening. While the scouts advance towards the forest of giant trees, Erin and Ymir attempt to get answers from Reiner and Bertolt. While receiving few answers, they discover that Reiner's personality has split under the pressure from living 2 very different lives. While Ymir wonders about the warrior's goal and the reason for the Beast Titan's presence, Erin expresses his rage towards the traitors. The true enemy of humanity remains a mystery to Erin, though the scouts are closing in on the forest with the intent of saving him from his fate. So what'd you guys think about this episode?
Well, I gotta say one thing. Like,
Okay.
I get that you guys have protocol, but why are you shooting shit into the sky to warn them that you're coming?
Right.
Like, come on. This is the one time maybe you just don't do that.
Don't do it.
You just ride for ruin.
I get that they're like trying to tell where the
The
Titans
Titans
are,
are.
but like,
I got you.
that was stupid.
They would have saw the horses coming anyway, but I do feel like
But they wouldn't have.
They wouldn't have gotten
They wouldn't
out
have.
ahead.
They wouldn't
Right.
have had a 20-minute conversation on what to do.
you're right.
They would have like, yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think about the Rhina conversations and
I
stuff?
mean, yeah.
The dude's losing it. I thought it was kind of funny watching Aaron lose his shit because he's like, "Are you kidding me? Do
Yeah.
you not remember what
He had a
you've
couple
done?"
Ren and Stimpy moments there where his eyes were all bloodshot.
I was like, "Whoa, dude!"
I mean, I think the conversation's interesting between them where they talk a little bit about where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Did they mention the church or a church or something like that?
So-
or a
Yeah.
village
It was Ymir talked about
about the
that.
church, but then they
Yeah.
talked about their village, like going back to their
Yeah,
village.
They
Going
want to go
back
back
to
to
their
their village.
Right.
Yeah.
Their hometown.
Right,
Where everybody's Titans,
right,
Right.
where everybody knows your name.
Sometimes you got to go there.
Sometimes
And is it this episode where he talks about the Monkey Titan or whatever?
The Beast Titan.
Yeah, but doesn't
Yeah.
he say Monkey Titan?
Yeah.
What
and
about
it pisses
what's
him
with the
off.
monkey?
No,
Yeah.
Ymir mentions the monkey, and he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about no monkey.
I don't
Yeah.
know nothing about no monkey. Boy.
Trying to play stupid.
Yeah.
Also, Aaron's like, "What's a monkey? What are you talking about? I've never seen no monkey."
Ymir really got the shit end of the stick on her Titan, didn't she?
Oh yeah.
Thing's disgusting.
Little gremlin.
At least it's fast
It is
and
fast.
agile.
Yeah, it's fast.
Anything else on this? I
I don't
really
know.
like.
What do you? I mean, you're the expert here,
Yeah.
so
I really like the conversation. I really like the Rhino reveal where he comes up and he's like, "Man, the wall's still up. We're good. I might be getting a promotion soon. You know, this, that, and the other." And then everyone's like, "What are you doing? What are you talking about?" And then Aaron. I think at first Aaron's like confused, but upon rewatch, I feel like Aaron's like, "Oh, this guy is mocking me. He is this mass murderer. He is responsible for all the deaths of everybody in Shigamshina, you know, or everyone that died.
Yeah.
And, you know, the cause of everything that's going
everything up
on
to this point
is
is his
his
fault.
fault.
but also
Rhina
what
and
kind of
Bertolt
culty mind?
mentality.
Well, but also like what did
Brainwash?
what did they teach them? The brainwashing. What did they say to them to make them think it's okay to go and eat everybody? There has to be like some.
They're not the ones
Over-
eating them, though.
Yeah.
Well, but still, they're letting them in.
The
They're-
Titans,
right?
yeah.
Well, I mean, they definitely ate a few people. They bit people in half, didn't they?
No, they just killed him.
Bertold and Reina.
They didn't.
No.
Well, I mean, Ymir has.
Ymir has.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
where do they think that it's okay? Like, what's their overall purpose? And
Where
I
do
mean,
they draw
hopefully
the
we
line?
figure that out.
Right, and
eventually.
they do, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is one. So it's kind of funny because there are two halves of Attack on Titan where we're in like the lost, we're on the island phase. You know what I'm saying? Where like there's like thousands of mysteries and stuff. But good thing about this over Lost is that this actually gives you the answers, and it's not just like oh yeah, well, here's the kind of answer.
I disagree with everything you just said. I think
sorry.
Lost gave you all the answers, and
Yeah.
you just didn't pay attention.
Listen, I loved Lost.
I've watched it like 13
13
times through. I'm not joking.
I've only watched it twice through.
I know anything you want to know about Lost, and I can't answer any of your
I
questions,
didn't
sir.
even make it through the first run through.
That's just
I got to the
That's
point. I'm
sad.
like,
it. Just
I
speaks
don't know
a lot
what's
about
going
you,
on.
Lee.
Yeah, I'm not the brightest. I'm not the brightest.
Watch it with
I
subtitles.
told
Goddamn.
Tell everyone that I'm not the brightest.
So here's the thing, though, is that I feel like the dub version on Attack on Titan is actually, dare I say, better, because there are certain times where there's like emotional reactions where, it doesn't hit as hard because I'm reading what, Erin's saying, or I'm reading what Erwin is saying or something, and
Instead of paying attention to their emotional content,
responses. Yeah. And so then when,
which is why subtitles suck.
oh my gosh.
Pretty good at reading real quick and looking right up and
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah,
what's
I don't
going
really
on,
have any
yeah.
problems. I don't know.
I don't
No,
like
no,
having to do
I
I'm just
literally
saying-
watch everything with subtitles.
Yeah,
all the
I do
time.
too.
And when
But-
they're not on, I'm like, oh, I got to turn them
Let
on.
me turn on. But that's for English shows too, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But
I don't do it with English.
TV, everything. It doesn't matter.
His favorite movie is a book.
What do you mean his favorite movie is a book?
He's an idiot.
What do you mean his favorite movie is a book?
anyway,
Wreck.
Oh.
Your favorite movie is books.
But his books.
so I do feel like that there's some interesting context. Is this, and again, it's one of those episodes that they kind of wish-wash back and forth. Is this where Ymir is presented with, or is that the next one where it's like, yeah, Ymir's next one? Okay, so are we ready to move on from into that one?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just one big long episode.
I do too.
Honestly.
I do too.
Yeah.
So episode number 35, which is titled Children.
Yes, we get a little backstory
Yeah.
on Ymir.
Yeah,
and
which
where she came
is
from
great.
and whatnot. And It was a little confusing,
Yeah.
but
Also, she roamed for 60 years.
yeah.
I mean, she laid down
As a
and
Titan.
the earth grew
over
over
her.
her.
Grew over
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that tells me they're old.
Yeah.
So while Moblet makes a shocking discovery in Ragako, Erwin's scouting formation nears the forest of giant trees.
Yeah.
The warriors make their escape, but Ymir desires to see Krista, aka
That's
Historia.
where the weird
again.
mom lady's laying on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they discovered.
Yeah.
Seeing the similarities in Krista's past and her own, Ymir refuses to cooperate with Rhina and Bertolt until they agree to take Krista with them. The soldiers arrive shortly afterward, coming across Ymir's Titan. When Krista is captured by Ymir, the soldiers immediately begin pursuit.
Yeah, the little backstory of Ymir religious cult was interesting.
Yeah, it's good, and it puts her character into perspective. How she's a liar and a thief and
Does what she has to survive.
well, she did. That was like the turning point, right? The church, and after that, she was like, "I'm sick of feeling guilty about it. I'm just gonna do it." And she becomes Ymir, where it's like, whatever,
And they're
whatever makes
basically
me-
Yeah.
yeah.
they basically tell her like, your name's Ymir and these people are going to worship you because you're the
You have royal blood.
Yeah.
You have the king's blood coursing
Yeah.
through your veins.
so
Yep. And then we find out that Krista's the only one that
Actually does.
knew her secrets, kind of, and also didn't judge her.
Yeah.
You know, just was. So she's like a. I mean, is it a romantic thing or is it a comfort thing?
I think it's both.
Both.
Yeah, definitely both.
Yeah. Well, let's hope Krista's leg's okay. It's sticking out of her mouth there for a
I
minute.
think
Yeah.
she was slurping her in like a spaghetti noodle.
Oh my goodness.
But also, Krista's in there with her gear. I'm surprised she's not.
Because she knows who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's not being chewed upon, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. But
So
man,
she's just
it's
like,
it's gonna be hot and wet in there.
that's what she said.
My God.
Moist.
Moist.
So Ymir becomes a Titan,
Yep.
roams the
swings-
earth.
Swinging through the trees.
She
Yeah.
roams the earth for 60 years, is what she said.
Is she the head Titan? Is that what they call her? Isn't it head Titan?
The jaw.
The jaw?
The jaw.
The jaw Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a noggin on her.
So
Man,
what
she's
happens?
Nothing but noggin.
What happens there, Colton? Do you remember?
Colton, then. Are you all right today, Colton?
I'm fine. I'm just
Yeah.
listening mostly. We already established that. Like, was this like she was like wandering the earth and then she just kind of laid down in her Titan form?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the earth just grew around her, so she was there for like
An eon.
a long
Oh my
time.
God, that had
However
to
long
been
it takes
forever.
the Earth to move.
Yeah, like a long time.
Yeah.
Like insanely long. And then she wakes up and immediately sees
somebody.
people, and then just like primal instinct goes after him.
Yeah, eats
Chomps
him.
him.
Yeah.
This is when she first meets Krista as the Jaw. Krista was part of that group because later on it says she survived when she's hiding in like the stable thing. She said the girl survived. I'm surprised she's not more traumatized. Right? I'm almost positive Krista was part of that group.
I don't think Chris was part of that specific
I
group.
think she
I
was.
think it was just Ryan and Bertolt.
I'm gonna find out because I'm almost positive.
Don't look it up. Don't
Why?
look it up because it's spoilers.
Spoiler.
What do you mean?
It's spoilers.
No,
Can't look up that group because they're going to be.
no. I was
Pertinent
just
to
gonna look up
later
the
in the
episode.
Probably
Story.
gonna get like slaughtered and like know.
They're gonna.
maimed
That
and-
group will be pertinent to
I'm
the
not
story later.
googling it.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, so
I'm not
ChatGPT is to blame
Googling
for
it.
spoiling me.
Yeah. Right.
Anyways, so
I'm
yeah.
pretty certain that you're thinking that it's Annie. Annie Reina Bertolt.
Was it?
That's probably.
But she ate one of them.
Yeah,
She
it,
did.
It was
She
the
ate Marcel.
Yeah.
Was that his name? I
Yeah,
don't
Marcel
because they
Deschamps?
asked, "Do you remember eating Marcel?" Nope.
You know anything about before you ate Marcel? Nope.
I don't remember nothing.
Then
Mind wipe.
what happens?
Then changes into the Titan and basically says, "Well, before that, she says, we're getting her back. I'm faster than you."
I'm talking about like the backstory. So she eats the
Real quick, is that Annie or is that Krista?
Annie.
It's Annie.
That's Annie.
Oh, they all look the same.
Yeah.
Wow, that's. Ooh, I don't know if I can say that
What
on
a
there.
Caucasian blonde.
Yeah.
So what happens? What happens after she eats?
I don't know what happens after she. Eats
She
them.
wakes up and she's human. She's in human form and she's like under the stars.
Completely naked, by the way. I have to mention that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then she said she was free. So cool.
Cool. All right.
So she's free, and then decides to join Scout Regiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of have
Not be
to.
free.
And then it
We kind of
plays.
have to infer.
Then it plays back on the beggar thief again.
Well, I think that she almost gets punished to become a scout regiment because most of the scout regiments die.
Yeah.
So I think that she's
But she
in
also-
military school basically.
That's when she overhears about Krista, basically, by the priest again.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then she gets thrown in and becomes part of the scout unit.
Right.
Because of being a thief and stuff like that. So
So
anything
do you
else?
do you think her whole interest in Krista was to exploit her fame?
I
or
feel like
her position?
initially it was, but then I feel like she
Fell in
grew
love.
attached. Yeah, grew attached
Yeah,
to
the
it.
more she learned about her past, the more it drew parallels to her own.
So the end of it, she gets Krista in her mouth.
Yeah, which was kind of funny because you get Connie. Like Connie comes up and he's like, "Hey, Ymir! Hey, we got to track down these
Yeah, he's
Titans.
stomping
Hey,
on her head.
let's go. What are you doing? I'm right here. What are you? It looks like she's looking for somebody.
Hey,
what are you
dummy,
talking about?
listen to
Yeah,
me."
we're trying to get these guys done." And then she just boom straight for Krista, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Swallows her whole.
Right.
And then
Yeah,
and then what's his name? Bertolt? Is it Bertolt that
No,
turns
Jean-
back into the Titan?
I was
The
gonna- I was
armor?
gonna
Is it
mention-
Ryan?
Ryan is the
Ryan is the turn. Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna mention the fact that John is just like, how did you guys not expect this to happen?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a Titan.
Yeah.
Big shocker, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, but also they have Aaron who is controllable. Like
Mm-hmm.
he knows what's going on.
Yeah, but I feel like
But
part of
Ymir knows what's going on too. It's just not what they want. You know?
Yeah, but I don't think Jean knows Ymir as much as Erin, though.
No.
I don't think he really has that connection.
And we did skip over kind of an interesting part where Ymir makes the decision with Ryan and Bertolt, like, "Hey, I'm going to work with you as long as you agree with me to take Krista." And Ryan and Bertolt are like, "Oh, well,
Yeah, she's important.
she's not, she's not really that important, but Ymir's easily manipulated and she has she's a Titan shifter. So we can just exploit her love for Krista and, she
it
doesn't
as
have
her
any goal other than
Yeah, that's her only
Krista.
motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they start talking about strategy and whatnot, and they start saying something, and then Aaron's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap," and then just immediately falls asleep. And then he wakes up, and they're coming back.
Yeah.
So
I feel like he did something other than just fall asleep. Like
Yeah.
somebody put him to sleep.
I don't know. It was kind of funny because they started talking about like, so tell me about the.
And the whole time they're over there fighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that
His
was.
legs
I
are
thought
up in
that
the air
was
and they're
funny.
just having a little chit chat.
Yep.
Like, are we not going to watch them fight?
It's not really much of a
cooler.
fight. It's more of just kind of like a submission hold.
Yeah.
I think it's funny how like Aaron was like cool and nonchalant, and then just randomly just like clocks him with like a stubby arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else for children?
I don't think so.
No. All right.
But the scouts are on
Get close.
chasing them.
Yep.
They get out in the open and
Horses.
horses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, I think we forgot to say too that so Erin has no arms, and then he kind of realizes that, well, I can't transfer him into a Titan.
There's that one scene where he's biting his nub
Yeah,
in the fight, which is hilarious. He's like, "Arr, arr, arr."
But then they have like a bunch of Titans underneath that are just like, "Hi, I'm ready.
The one hiding behind the tree was the creepiest.
Yeah.
He was
I'm
just
ready
like,
for you. I see you."
Yeah, it's so creepy. They're so creepy.
He's a little shy.
The mom
Yeah.
on top of the house when their eyes move over. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Ugh."
And so yeah, there was another part too, and with children is that at the beginning they're back at Connie's village, and they're like, yeah, that picture kind of lines up.
Turn it
Like,
upside down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh.
I see it.
So,
How's that happen?
all right. Craziness.
All right.
Guess we'll
Final
call it.
2 episodes.
Let's do
Coming
it.
up next.
Any so final thing before we end season
I don't
2?
know what's going on, man.
What would you
No
give this
idea.
episode?
What would you? Yeah, the last 2. What would you give them?
I give them both 2
2
out of 5.
out of 5. Okay.
I'd give the first one like a campfire starter.
Okay.
And then I would give the second one like a couple logs.
So
Gotcha.
we're still on the whole like making fire thing. That's,
I give it a Sprite.
Okay. Like a Sprite Zero?
No.
Full on sugar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sprite.
Sprite. I got you.
I'll give the first episode 3 Chaos Emeralds
Okay.
out of 6,
Gotcha.
Okay.
and the second one 4 Chaos Emeralds out of 6.
I agree with that.
Nice. I would say that this is probably like a Cocoa Pebbles. I don't know. I don't think it's
Wait, the first episode or
Both.
the second? Okay.
Yeah, both. Yeah, both are Cocoa Pebbles. They're not quite like blueberry muffin tops, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You're not going to go Cocoa Dinobites with the marshmallows?
No. See,
Not that good?
Those are. I'm not a big marshmallow guy. I'd rather just. Now if we're talking about like Lucky Charms or something, I'm down for some Lucky
You
Charms.
like
It's
Golden
the same
Grams?
thing.
I like Golden
They're not
Grams.
the
love
same
Golden
thing.
Grams.
It's the
Yeah,
same
do too.
marshmallow.
Dino Bites is chocolate.
Yes, but it's the same marshmallow.
Yeah,
It's-
it's
they're
too
all
much,
the
though.
same marshmallow.
Yeah.
It's all the dry.
Don't
Yeah, it's-
ever
They
try to
get
eat
slimy.
one dry.
I
Yeah.
love them.
Oh yeah, it's
Not
Chip a
dry.
tooth. Yeah.
I like it when they get slimy.
Chip a tooth.
Remember when they
Also-
did only marshmallows for
Yeah, you can order them. You can
can
order
get
like 2
bags
or
of
3
them at the
bags.
grocery store.
Yeah,
craziness. Yeah.
it's awesome.
Anyway, they're not quite blueberry muffin tops, but they're just pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's go watch these episodes.
Let's do it.
Oi, oi.